Okay, I'm back. Without the wrap scene. I just experienced a problem, actually. When I was trying to put them in to show you what it looks like when it's finished, I realized the way I used to do it was I would tie them, like I said, cut the loop and tie it. But my locks have developed so much since then that I kind of started to get afraid that if I tied the knot, first of all, my roots, they're loosish for about an inch. So it just wanted to slip all the way down into the base of my dread and not stay. So I had to have a tight loop or tight knot. So I had a really tight knot, which worked fine, except as soon as I tied it, I realized when I go to cut this out, I might accidentally cut my dread out. So and then I spent a long time trying to get it out really carefully, and I actually still have a little piece back here. I did in one of these ones that isn't coming out, piece of yarn. Um, so I wouldn't recommend doing that, actually. So, yeah, don't do that. I have put them in, though, in a little bit different of a way, and it worked perfect. I have another video on here called, like, dread wraps or something like that, and I'm just sitting there with a whole head of dread wraps, in different rainbow colors and stuff. And that's probably the best video to go look at right now, I suppose. And I actually installed those a little bit differently. What I did was I put the thread through the loop, and then I took yarn and I wrapped it without doing any kind of knot. I just wrapped yarn around that part until it was tight and even with the thread, and then I cut it really close on the yarn down here. So when I took it out, all I had to do was snip it on the thread wrap and then unwrap it all the way up, and it was just fine, and it just came out. So that's how I would recommend it with threads. And I would have done that just now to show you guys, but it is pretty time consuming. Really time consuming, especially if you're doing a whole head. But if you're just doing around your hairline like I was showing you, I think if you have dreadlocks and you're doing it and you have to wrap around the roots of your hair like that, it's going to take you probably a couple of hours. If you have loose hair and you're installing it, it's probably going to take you like a half hour, maybe an hour to do. If you're really good, even less than that, really. So it's just braiding, and then putting a little rubber band. You can actually braid onto the thread a little too if your hair matches, or, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, but just remember, if you have dreads, don't do the whole flip the loop and knot it thing like I did, because you might actually, damage your locks. And take a look at my other video. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Remember when you are installing them to do the tight, in your loose hair, do tight braids so that the base of the locks is right here and not, a couple inches back or whatever it is. You want it to be right here. If you have an issue with that section of loop being too long and you have your braid coming back a little bit further, that's easily fixed by doing the same wrapping thing I was just telling you about with the matching yarn. Typically, it doesn't take very long to do that on loose hair either. Just something about having dreadlocks makes it a lot more difficult, I guess. But easier in other ways, I guess. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys, and take a look at my other video.